It's Friday, everybody. Thanks for kicking off your weekend here with us on Undisputed. I'm Jen Hale. That is Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharpe. Good morning, gentlemen. How are you
Good
doing
morning,
today?
good morning.
Here we go. It's time. Playoffs starting. I just hope LeBron doesn't run out of gas Sunday at Memphis. I know gas is expensive right now, but he can afford it.
I just hope you guys don't get no tummy ache.
Oh, my God.
You guys don't get no tummy ache. You know this time of year.
Joel Embiid has not had any tummy aches all year long, right?
So
all he did was run away with an MVP you didn't see coming.
About time he won one.
Yeah,
My
it
guy
is
got
about
back to
time.
back.
That's right.
My guy got back to back.
My guy should have won it 3 years ago.
No, he shouldn't. No, he shouldn't.
Here we go.
No, he shouldn't. Giannis said he should have won it.
No.
He should win.
Plenty to wrestle over this morning, guys. That's for sure. Playoff basketball, one of my favorite times of the year. Indeed, Skip, you're right. The NBA playoffs officially tip off tomorrow. The favorites to win the East, Giannis and the Bucks, according to FOX Bet Sportsbook. Over in the West, meanwhile, favorites, KD and the Suns to reach the finals. However, when all is said and done, FOX Bet Sportsbook says the Bucks have the better odds to win it all. All right, Shannon, 3 questions for you. Who wins the West, who wins the East, and then who takes the entire crown?
Well, I'm going to start with the East first.
All right.
Skip, I always thought it was a 2-team race. I thought it was going to be the Bucks and the Celtics. And I really like the Bucks. Now, I think it's going to be a closer series between them and the Celtics because I only think it's only 2 teams that can possibly come out of the East, and that's the Bucks and the Celtics. But Chris Middleton's help. I like the trade they made at the deadline to get Jay Crowder. I like Joe Ingles shooting almost 41% from the 3 coming off the ACL injury. We know what Giannis is. Holiday has elevated himself. Brook Lopez, I've never seen a big guy have a transformation like him. He used to be a low post player. Now, all of a sudden, he's a stretch, does a real great job at defending the paint.
Yeah.
So I really like the Bucks. I would love the Bucks had Chris Middleton's health not been an issue. He had a week off. We'll see how that holds up.
Sounds like he's going to be okay.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
if he's okay,
Yeah, sounds like it.
they're definitely coming out of the East.
Okay.
Out of the West. I like the Nuggets at first, but with the health of Nikola Jokic, but they're a very beatable team. They're one of the team that's the number 1 seed that you like. They could get upset in the first round, although I don't think that's going to happen. I like the Lakers. I know a lot of people are not as bullish on the Lakers as I am, but I like their matchup. If you go back and look at AD's numbers against the Grizzlies this year, he had a 30-20 game. He had a 28-19 game, and they're 2-1 against the Grizz. In one of those games, they had Steven Adams. Obviously, Steven Adams won't be there. So I think it's going to come down between the Suns and the Lakers. And I think the inconsistency of DeAndre Ayton, although AD can be inconsistent as well, I want to see the matchup, KD and LeBron, because we haven't seen that that matchup since, 2018?
Yep.
It's been, 2018, the Christmas. Was that Christmas last time we saw? No, NBA Finals.
Finals.
NBA Finals. NBA Finals. So that's been a long
How quickly you forget.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Things that you want to forget.
It's been, well, he's out there by himself. Now, if you did one-man
he's
band.
out there by himself.
That one man, come on now, don't do that, Skip. Now, you know he was out there by himself. And so I'm going to say, you know what? I'm going to say the Lakers and the Bucks, and I got the Bucks winning it all.
Time out. Did you just predict the Lakers are going to win the West? After just a couple of days back on the show, we did, what shot do you give the Lakers of winning the West? And you said 15%.
15.
And all of a sudden,
ain't zero.
you have vaulted to 100%.
No.
You went from 15% all the way to they're going to win the West.
Well, see, I'm most confident about the first round series because I really like the matchup LeBron and AD against the Grizzlies. Going back and looking at AD's numbers, Bron is going to be Bron. The question is, and AD is like, hold on, I did have a 30-20 game. I almost had another 20-20 game. I should be able to feast. And I know what Jared Jackson is. He's going to win Defensive Player of the Year, and rightfully so. But AD, that's a matchup AD should be able to win.
Okay.
And LeBron.
Okay. You're discounting that newcomer in Phoenix.
I said they're in the Western Conference Final.
Yeah,
How am I discounting him?
But you just discounted him because you said that LeBron is going to overcome Kevin Durant for the first time in forever because Kevin Durant went into LeBron's house twice in a row, 2017, 2018, and beat him head-to-head.
Yeah, but I don't believe he's bringing a comparable team. Devin Booker is good, but he ain't Steph Curry. The third best player is not Klay Thompson. And they don't have a player that's defensive-oriented or with the mind of a Draymond Green. So if you think these Phoenix Suns are comparable 2017, 2018 Golden State Warriors, you've lost all of your mind, not part of it.
Is Kevin Durant actually playing at a higher level right here, right now than he was in 2017 or 2018? Yes, he is.
Skip,
I don't know if you've noticed.
What about his health? What about his health?
Well, as far as I know, it's just great.
Had he had the leg injuries, the lower injuries to his lower body in 2017 and 2018, like he has right now in 2023?
No, he's an older player. He's 34 years of age.
So
he is also in the midst of his greatest shooting season ever. It is off the charts. It is incomparable in NBA history, what the numbers that he's putting up, especially from two-point range. We've never seen anything like it. He's making 57% of his two-point shots. I'm talking about outside the lane. I'm not talking about inside. I'm talking about jump shots.
Right.
Nobody's ever done that before. He is the deadliest mid-range jump shooter we have ever seen, and he's shooting it better than ever. And he walks in the door at Phoenix. Again, the trade went down on Super Bowl week Thursday when we were in Phoenix. And from that moment on, I know he had the injury problem when he first got there, and then he had another, tweaked his ankle or rolled his ankle, shooting some sort of weird, freakish pregame layup. And yet, in the 8 games that he did play, and I'm going to say that's just enough of a sample size for me to hang my hat on, they are 8-0 as a team, 8-0 with Kevin Durant. And every time I watch them with Kevin, it looks like they've been playing together for 800 games. That's what it looks like to me, because no superstar can blend more efficiently and quickly than Kevin can, especially when he loves his new teammates as opposed to the ex-teammate and ex-best friend that he left behind in Brooklyn.
How you know they ex? They still might be besties.
It felt exy to me when he exited.
Right. Well, Kyrie asked for a trade and he didn't want to be there alone.
Okay, all right. But it felt like they fell all apart. Kevin's quick to forgive and forget and make up, as he did with Russ, quote unquote. Russ hasn't forgiven or forgotten at all. But my point is, even LeBron, even AD, even the Lakers, as much as I love what Rob Pelinka did at the trade deadline, you're not going to be able to overcome the Phoenix Suns when they have home court in the finals. I'm going to go 6 games in that. You've got it in 7, right? You've got Lakers prevailing in 7 games. Okay, so that means they're going to have to go win a game 7 at Phoenix.
Right.
I don't love their chances of that.
Yes, that's exactly what they're going to have to do.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, now, I've got Phoenix going to the finals to face the team that I first guessed from the start of this season. I believe this is the year of Doc Rivers' Philadelphia 76ers. And there have been moments I haven't loved what I saw from them. But there have been
I thought you were talking about the team you picked earlier this year, the Clippers.
Okay.
I said, they got the Clippers the first round. They came, but you mean on the other side.
On the other side.
Okay.
But, now, for the record, before this season started, I picked the Clippers to win it all. Until you guys somehow, Rob Pelinka got out from under Russ when you did not think there was any way out from under Russ, and got out from under Patrick Beverley and completely changed the tone and the tenor of the Lakers.
Yeah.
Turned them from a cloud team, a cloud hanging over their heads team, to a unified, united, happy basketball team. Yeah. They like each other. That locker room, they're going with LeBron. It feels like the spirit has risen about 100% in the locker room. So I love all that. Way to go, Rob Pelinka. I still say he's executive of the year. You're not giving him any credit for it. But it was a lot of little moves with 2 big moves of addition by subtraction. But the point is, after one Los Angeles team subtracted Russ, the other one jumped right on him. And I said, I'm out. And not only am I out, but Paul George is out for the foreseeable future. I don't know when he's going to come back, if he's going to come back.
Yeah, he's definitely probably not coming back this first round.
Okay, so I am way out. And I told you from day one, from moment one, as soon as they acquired Russell Westbrook, because that's how I perceive him in the big picture, they're not going to be able to overcome and win with him as their starting point guard. He went from 6th Man of the Year candidate coming off the bench for Darvin Ham to he's in the starting lineup for Ty Lue. Do I like Ty Lue more than Darvin as a first-year head coach? Sure, I do. Yeah, and again, the strength of the Clippers is the head coach right now. Do I love Kawhi on both ends of the floor? I don't. He doesn't even try to play defense anymore. I don't.
He tried to steal the ball, but
he can't. His knees are too creaky.
Yeah.
So he saves his knees on one end of the floor because, as you say, when you got to get down in a chair, your knees are going to bite and they are going to scream at you, right?
Yes.
But on the other end, he's been, I think he's playing the highest level of offensive basketball we've seen. So whatever chance they have against Phoenix, it will be Kawhi or bust on the offensive end because I don't think he can help much the other way around. And then it's Russ eventually going haywire to me. Just when you need it the least, he will self-destruct and he will take you down with him because you saw it again and again when he was a Laker. I love our topic that we're going to do because we'll get to it in a minute. Who's had the better career between Russ and Chris Paul? Because that is a tough question.
It's a very tough question.
Because it's close in a lot of ways. But those two are going to be matched up, and that's going to tell a big tale in this series. Now, I still say Kevin is he's on a mission. He went back. I mean, he chose to go to Phoenix. He asked to go to Phoenix because he loves Chris. Who doesn't love Chris? He's been the president of the Players Association for God knows how many years. It seems like his whole career.
He's not the president anymore. CJ is.
But I'm saying.
He was.
But he was.
For at least a decade.
I mean, highly respected by the players. We'll get deeply into that in just a minute. But the point is, Kevin said, as I used to call him back in the days on the old network, he's CP0. He still didn't have a ring.
Right.
And neither does Russ. So here we go. And yet, Kevin's saying, I want to go to Phoenix and help Chris win a ring. And I think Chris will be instrumental in their rise because he's going to get as many open three-point shots as you've ever seen a man get in playoff series. They are going to dare him to shoot threes, and I believe he will take and make a lot of big, crucial three-point shots. Okay, so I have them coming out of the West past your Lakers. I was first guessing that from the trade deadline. I said Lakers, Suns in the conference finals.
Okay.
And then on the other side, from day one, I have first guessed Joel Embiid. I've told you since January, he's on a tear. He's going to win MVP. Finally, you gave in and said, okay. When did you give in? It was the recent night, April 4th, that he scored 52 against the Boston Celtics, albeit in Philadelphia. But that night, he was extraordinary. He made 20 of 25 shots. He made 12 of 13 free throws. I have never, ever seen a man this tall. We're going to give him 7'1". We're going to give him 300. Easy 300. I've never seen a man shoot the ball from distance with the touch this man has.
Right.
Against Boston, he would just pull it up. You guys, two of you want to come at me? Three of you want to come at me? I'll just pull up at the free throw line, and I will fade away and shoot a shot you cannot bother or block, right? 20 of 25 he made, and nobody in the league made more free throws per game than Joel Embiid. He gets to the free throw line, he makes 86%.
Right.
He will average making, or he did average through the regular season, 10 free throws a game. That led all of basketball. That's pretty great. That night against Boston, he went for 52. He had 10 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 blocks. He's been playing big-time, high-level basketball on both ends because he is a shot blocker when he decides to be. I have watched Joel grow up this year. You could be right. Is he going to get a tummy ache? I don't know. But he's said all the right things about, I want to win the MVP. It does matter to me. But in the end, all that matters to us is the playoffs. Well, yeah, because he's been around for a while now, and he has known some heartache in the playoffs, and he's known some stomach ache in the playoffs, and you can't do it. Okay? So I have seen a grown-up Joel Embiid this year. You could be right. Doc's on the hot seat. Doc's under fire. James Harden is on, and maybe even a hotter seat because sometimes he looks like a shell of himself, but he has turned himself into John Stockton. I've never seen, led the league in assists because he has extremely high basketball IQ. As you know, he used to be able to score the basketball from the perimeter like nobody we'd ever seen.
That's not him anymore.
Okay, it's not him anymore. We watched him win an MVP mostly from the perimeter, although he can snake through defenses and slither like nobody you've ever seen as a left-handed 6'5" player. He doesn't do a lot of that anymore, but he knows how to get the basketball. He knows how to pick and roll with Joel Embiid. And I think when you throw in Tyrese Maxey is what you call he's a third star, but I think he's a star. I believe in him.
He's shown himself.
Hey.
But let me ask you a question. Well, who do you have them beating in the Eastern Conference Finals?
Okay. To your point, I don't know exactly how the thing's going to unfold, but I have not bought into Milwaukee or Boston all year. I'm about to tell you why. Because the more I watch, the more I doubt both of these teams. So let's start with the team you've liked all year, the Boston Celtics. And let's look at what's happened to them. And I'm just going to run down their schedule. If you just scan down their schedule, you start scratching your head about, okay, I get it. They're a very deep, you could argue they're the deepest team in basketball. But they don't have the same head coach. And I'm not saying the new head coach is bad, because he's not, because they're still very good.
Yeah.
I just think they lost a little bit of defensive edge from Ime Udoka from a year ago.
Okay.
All right. So they lost 3 times to Orlando, twice to Orlando at home. They lost twice to the Bulls. No shame there, but they did lose twice to the Bulls. They lost 3 times to the Cavaliers, another playoff team that's pretty good, but 3 times. They lost 3 times to the team that's going to play the Cavaliers, to the Knicks. And I'm saying, wait a second, just how good is Boston? Are you sure about Boston? They lost to the Rockets. They lost to the Pacers. Well, wait a second, they lost to Oklahoma City. No shame there, but they did lose to Oklahoma City as they were an up-and-coming upstart, right? They lost to Utah. They lost to Washington. These are the Boston Celtics. Those are all the losses. And there are so many, quote-unquote, bad head-scratching losses that I'm still scratching my head about the Boston Celtics.
I'm sure if you go back and look, you can look at a lot of teams that lost to some teams that you're like, well, how the hell y'all lose to them?
Okay.
You're so much better. Better players, deeper team, better coach.
Okay.
It just happens. You tell me it's the NBA. How everybody can't get up on a Tuesday night or Thursday night or a Monday night and play their best basketball.
Okay. And then finally, I did watch Joel Embiid hang 52 on them and just shoot them out of his own gym. All right. So now I look at, okay, wait a second. Let's go to Milwaukee, shall we? Mm-hmm. Wait, they lost to Boston at home on Christmas by 21. Interesting. Just the other day, it's March the 30th. Wait, Milwaukee lost at home? At home to Boston by 41 points? Are you kidding me? Mm-hmm. They lost by 41? Mm-hmm. Big question marks. Red flags go up in my psyche, like, seriously? And then I scan down their schedule and I say, well, wait a second. Okay, they lost, this is Milwaukee, they lost to the Heat twice, they lost to the Rockets, they lost to the Bulls twice, they lost to the Cavs twice. Wait, they lost to the Pacers. Wait a second, I keep going down here and I see more losses to, we talked twice to the 76ers, and they lost to the Spurs, and they lost to the Wizards. And I'm saying they were just hit and miss. And you say, well, they were hurt.
So let me tell you, I love what you did there, but you talked about all the teams that they lost to. Well, if Milwaukee is the #1 seed, which means they have the most wins, I can imagine who the Sixers lost to because they're the 3rd seed. Okay. So that means they lost more games than what Milwaukee, right? Okay. So I'm sure they got some debilitating losses in there also.
Okay, but I will say this. On March the 4th, I watched a game at Milwaukee featuring Joel Embiid versus Giannis, and I watched the 76ers as the visiting team come from 14 down in the 3rd quarter. I watched Joel Embiid with 42 seconds left pull up from 3 and swish it like it was a free throw to finally put them ahead, then make the 2 clinching free throws with 5 seconds left because he just doesn't miss.
Did Milwaukee beat Philly this year also?
Okay, yeah, I'm just saying these are recent games. Beat Boston, beat Milwaukee, and showed me the firepower and Joel's star power that he can rise above anybody because he is the best player on the planet as we speak. I'm disqualifying Kevin from this because last year, as you recall, I told you I'm out on Kevin until he reproves himself in the post, and I believe he will this year, but he's got to do it first. But remember what happened against Boston. I'm going to blame part of it on the Kyrie situation.
No, you can't blame Kevin Durant. Okay. Kyrie wasn't shooting the ball for Kevin Durant.
All right, Kevin went 20 in 4 straight losses. They got swept by the Boston Celtics. Kevin went 26 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists. On the face of that, it doesn't sound that bad until you look at he shot 37% from the floor.
Right.
He's shooting 56% this year for the season, which is a career high. 56 down to 37, I think that's a precipitous drop.
Yeah.
Because he got annihilated by Boston's defense. As you know, they were running 2 and 3 people at him, and he he just folded like the cheapest suit you've ever worn, because you used to wear cheap suits. Now you got expensive ones, right?
I did.
Okay. You used to wear hand-me-down suits,
Yeah,
right?
of course.
Okay. Those suits, that's how Kevin folded in
Right.
that series. And look at him now. So he has a chance to reprove himself, but he didn't last year. So he's on a mission to regroup from last year.
And so you give me all these scenarios about Milwaukee not as good as they, even though they have the number 1 seed. Boston's not that good, even though they have the number 2 seed. The number 3 seed, they got Joel Embiid. Well, if they had Joel Embiid, why weren't they the number 1 seed?
Okay, I'm just telling you, my eye test for the whole year, when I take important victories and bad losses, I just believe in the 76ers more than I believe in the Bucks or the Celtics.
And you just said, well, I hope James Harden, he's a shell of himself. True Holiday has proved himself that, because he carried the team, because Chris Middleton has been out the lion's share of the year, and they was resting. Giannis had a knee injury, so they've been resting him, and Holiday has come through.
He has. I like them. I like them more than Boston. I agree with your pick, excluding the 76ers, but I'm not going to exclude them. I think it's Joel's year. It's his year to break through and win MVP.
He won it.
I think it's his year to break through and win the East this year.
That's as far as it goes. I mean, take solace in the fact that you won the MVP.
Yeah,
but that's it.
Embiid versus KD in the finals. It's going to be epic, and KD will rise above, as he did over LeBron in 2017 and 2018. I got the Suns rising back into the finals and winning the finals for the first time in their existence.
No.
Yes.
No.
Thank you.
You're not coming out of the East, Skip.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Well, I don't know what got into you. I don't know what you had before the show, but you went from 15% all the way up to 100% for your Lakers.
Hey,
maybe you were just listening to me.
No, I'm just counting on Bron and AD to do what they've always done in the postseason.
Okay. Well, Bron, he cannot run out of gas in fourth quarters. That's all I know.
Well, if he plays 45 minutes, he's going to run out of gas.
Really?
I guarantee you. Guess what? Guess what happened if Joel Embiid plays 45 minutes?
He'll be just fine.
Okay, just fine. Okay, just fine.
Yeah, I think he's ready to play 45.
No, I don't think he's ready to play 45 minutes. I don't, Skip.
Here we go.
Goat, James.
Are we putting any dew on it yet this morning,
He's
gentlemen?
scared. I got him running scared. I took 2 10 seeds. I took 2 10 seeds and 1 dew.
10 seeds.
OKC in Chicago.
You lucked into both.
I lucked into it.
Well, you lucked into. New Orleans had 3 chances to win the game and failed miserably. And then, wait a second. The home team Raptors missed 18 free throws?
Had a 19-point lead.
Yeah, way to go.
You should pay me double for having that big old lead.
Yeah. Well,
we'll get some
We're not going to talk about that.
We'll get some dew. We'll get some dew going.
Thanks for watching, Undisputed fans. Subscribe here to get the very latest from Skip and Shannon. Plus, go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.